Get up here, Eevee. Alright, here we go. I didn't realize that petrification lasted that whole time like that. Can I just, like, get a para? Or him not using Dark Void? Oh, thank you. Alright, we're free. Hopefully that's it. Is Breloom gonna show up and help us? Darkrai is down. Did we do it? Oh, I think we freed Giratina. Oh, hey. Ah! Oh, I don't ever remember seeing that portrait for Darkrai. You just take Darkrai's soul? I warned you, Darkrai the deplorable. I always receive my end of the deal, one way or another. But I no longer wish to bring a spirit like yours into the distortion world. Distorian world? Typo. It must enter another world and never come back. Oh, hey, well, I guess we don't have to worry about there being two spirits of Darkrai anymore. I must thank you two for weakening Darkrai enough for me to escape their grasp. I overheard all that was said. Darkrai's spirit now exists in its correct time. Temporal Tower should return to its former state soon. Darkrai is now nothing but an empty body. Without a spirit, they no longer have the ability to act upon the world. Ah, Cresselia and Breloom. You are freed from your prison inside the distortion world. I no longer want you there. Also, do not worry. I have removed Darkrai's spirit from this world. Goodbye. Yo, what a bro? What a bro. You two have met this Breloom, correct? Yes, we know him. Breloom injured himself as he entered the distortion world. I forced him to rest in order to heal more quickly. He explained your story to me. Darkrai's trap for me became apparent as soon as Giratina appeared. But I was not aware of the rest of your role in this scheme. The true depths that Darkrai will sink to never fail to amaze me. But now Darkrai is just an empty, powerless husk. Without a spirit, they will be perpetually trapped inside what remains of their minds. And existing atop this tower, no Pokemon that could make it here would ever claim this body with their own spirit. Me? Dibs? I want it. Perhaps it could happen if Darkrai was deserving of any sympathy, or even if any sane Pokemon were to tempt fate and risk Darkrai regaining control. But instead, here we stand. Seems that Darkrai's endless antics and antagonism have finally come crashing down around them. A fitting end. I no longer have any need for this. I believe that you should hold on to it. Huh? This is the Odd Keystone. That's right. If you recognize the Odd Keystone, you must know that the time to use it will eventually become clear. Don't lose sight of it. Breloom will eventually need further assistance for his injury. I shall return him to your town. Farewell. Oh, this is all moving so fast. I guess that's it. Temporal Tower is going to return to normal. It looks like Breloom will be okay. And Darkrai can't bother us anymore. What about Grovyle? I can't believe it. Well then, let's start heading back to Lapras. Rogue? Did I forget something? We can't leave him here. Huh? If I understand Giratina and Cresselia right, Darkrai has no consciousness right now. But if someone surrendered their spirit, they could become the new consciousness for Darkrai's body. And share minds with what's left of Darkrai. So I'm gonna do it. Cresselia seems to think that nobody would ever do this, but I have a hard time believing that. Temporal Tower clearly isn't as hard to reach as we were led to believe. I mean, it was pretty hard to reach, let's be honest. Celebi, Darkrai, and Giratina had no problems crossing the Sea of Time. And even for Pokemon like us that would normally need the Relic Fragment, they could find a way to stay with someone that can get in. That's what Team AWD did. Okay, Team AWD getting in here is a good point. Between all the Pokemon in the world and the past, present, future, and any other timelines, do we really think that no Pokemon would ever try to take control of Darkrai's power? We can't let that happen. I mean, you're probably right, but what can we do about that? I'll be the one to surrender my spirit. What? What did you just say? Rogue, have you lost your mind? As long as a part of Darkrai's mind exists, they're gonna try to regain full control of themselves. I'm confident that almost any Pokemon that tries to take over will eventually lose to Darkrai's mind games. But not me. I'm built different, canonically. I know Darkrai too well to give in to that now. But, Rogue, I just don't understand. After all that time of you saying you didn't want to be like Darkrai, you're gonna literally turn into Darkrai? That makes no sense. That's not who you are. I thought that you knew that. But Eevee, that's exactly it. I am Darkrai, that much is true. And I don't want to be like that Darkrai over there. But I'm not. I'm my own Darkrai. One that doesn't want to blindly follow their aura. Even with the same spirit, we became different Pokemon. Darkrai thought that the best version of myself could only be achieved by following their same path. But there's some experiences that only I had. That's why we have different ideas of what that best version is. And I know how I can get that through to them. Rogue, you can't. You can't. Just go away. You might not be the same Pokemon after you do this. I don't wanna. Rogue, I just can't imagine a world without you. If not for you, I don't think I ever would have learned to stand up for myself. Eevee, you're thinking of this the wrong way. How is this actually gonna... This game has like a post-game, presumably, right? How is this gonna work? Am I gonna be Darkrai in the post-game, or am I still gonna be a Shinx? You're the one that was there for me when I needed you most, even when you had all the reason in the world not to. You'll be fine. There's no way that I would have made it this far without you. Okay, if this is really what you want, Rogue, I trust you. I'm not sure how to do this. Do I just... Yeah, shake hands. Good use of the animation of when you fade away at the end of the main game. That was easy. Hey. Ugh. Oh, bye. Bye, I guess. See you later. Enjoy going back down the tower on your own. I hope Dialga doesn't kill you on your way out. Alright, back at Dark Crater. Ah! Oh. Hello. Oh, hi. Why are you here? I became your new spirit before anyone else could. I'm giving you a chance at a new life. Is that what you call it? I know that you have no intention of surrendering yourself to my will. For someone that was attempting to tout their moral superiority over me, you desire control of this body as much as I. And yet you still fully believe that you have decided to change yourself. Fool! Foolish fool! Oh, hello. You need to understand that free will does not exist. Your deviation from your destined path isn't a result of your choices. It's only because of your Shinx half. Every decision that you think was independently made is only a result of the influence of others on your decision-making. Okay, I really feel like they went a little over the top with Darkrai and what they were doing with the whole aura and free will stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just like, it really doesn't, like, fit the Mystery Dungeon vibe to me. All sense of logic and purpose in your mind has been poisoned. You've succumbed to the will of the rogue from your past, one of your former enemies. Who cares? You made a very brash decision to attempt to control me, Rogue. But now it's over for you. Bet. Oh, is this actually a boss fight against, like, 8 Darkrai? Oh, there's a Darkrai at the back. Well, thank goodness I have Discharge. Oh, they all die, like, instantly. Nice. I figured this was just going to be, like, a scripted loss. Oh, and they do, like, no damage. Oh. There is a Darkrai at the very top, I see there. Oh, I paralyzed the one at the very top. Sup, bro? Oh, do you have, like, agility going on or something? Stop that. Oh, you also do no damage, though. It's fine. That was a crit. Alright. Very scripted, easy win. That's neat. I like that. Ah! Yo, Eevee hoofed it down the stairs. It was hard for me to grasp, but Rogue really was gone. When I saw Darkrai go through that portal, it was hard to tell exactly who that was. Was that Darkrai retreating to start another plan? Or was that Rogue knowing that they can't just return to town? I'm not sure if I'll ever know, but I do know that at least a part of Rogue is in there somewhere. Rogue has always tried to figure out why they're in this world ever since we first met, and I guess that this is what they decided. If anyone can keep Darkrai from doing something like this again, it's Rogue. Yo, is Dialga gonna, like... Imagine Eevee is on the Rainbow Stone ship and is, like, on its way down, and then just Dialga snipes him out of the air. With a roar of time, blows Eevee to smithereens. Once I accepted that, I knew that I needed to make it back to the Rainbow Stone ship. Then Lapras, then back home. One step at a time. Poor Eevee. Poor girl. Hey. When I got back to the guild, I was surprised at how warm of a welcome everyone gave me. I know that it makes sense since Rogue and I were gone for so long, and especially since we succeeded, but I guess that I forgot about the guild rooting for us near the end there. We spent so much time in secrecy trying to avoid the guild altogether, and then there's how Chatot treated us at first. For a while there, I just didn't think that I was one of them. That's something that Rogue and I had in common. But that feeling's gone away over time. There's a lot of great Pokemon in the guild that I never really got to know back then. They remind me why I wanted to join the guild in the first place. That was a while ago at this point, but I still remember it vividly. You know, Sunflora gave me this diary and told me I should start writing in it, but for a while I didn't know what kind of things I'd ever want to write about. Right now, I'm next to an empty bed that used to belong to Rogue. Usually, thinking about that for too long makes me start to feel a bit lonely, but I think that this has helped clear my thoughts a bit. Eevee. Oh my goodness, there's actually like a book closing animation. The next morning... Oh, hi, Eevee. Meryl, Azurill. I almost walked right past you two. What are you up to this morning? Today's our big day. Azurill's wanted us to try to enter Wigglytuff's guild for a long time now, and now we're going for it. That's exciting. Good luck. I might have some spare time this morning before I start this job. I'll head to the beach for a bit. Is the exploration team training really that hard? There are certainly times when our training can become difficult. However, we have a new policy established for incoming apprentices. As long as you train with us and put in the work that we ask of you, you'll not be set up to fail. That much I can personally promise. I get it, you two, but this Team AWD isn't the same as when we found each other. The rest of the world is on the other side. Okay. And just like that, we must say goodbye to all the lovely Pokemon of Spinda's Cafe. Let's find that new recruit, Mawile. There they go, moving on to bigger and better things. Good for them. Pondered tagging along with them, Spinda, but we had different thoughts. I'm not fixing to go a whole nother continent like they are. That's okay too. We still need to keep the survey team up and running. But to make that happen, we'll need to find some new Pokemon to go on explorations. For one, how about someone who should have tried to join the survey team a long time ago? Dude, you guys are gonna get bodied if you run into any flying Pokemon. Whoa, are you for real? Ain't no secret that you got the skill to do it, Breloom. I sure won't say no. Krabby! I love the Krabby bubble scene. So good. Standing on the beach when the bubbles are blowing. There's nothing quite like it. Let me take a look at that thing again. Yeah, it sure does look like the stone that Spiritomb came out of. And Spiritomb is supposed to be a fusion of spirits. Can only assume that this odd keystone has to be what causes that. Is that why Cresselia was carrying this around? To try to trap Darkrai inside this stone? And is that why she gave it to me, too? I'm always the one that's carrying these things around, huh? But to be honest, I don't think that I need it. Oh, well, Spiritomb is gonna drown now. I mean, if Rogue is anything to go off of, no spirit is beyond change. So true. Staff credits. That's the end, really. They don't show Rogue, aka Darkrai, showing back up again or anything? Okay. Alright, well, good hack overall. I had a fun time overall. I didn't love it, though. I really don't like the making Reviver Seeds more expensive and, like, way more difficult to get your hands on shenanigans that they did. That felt super unnecessary to the game, to me. What was the other thing I was gonna say? I really, really love the idea of doing a storyline where after Darkrai gets hit in the portal at the end of the original Explorers of Sky, that he turns into a different Pokemon, loses his memory, and that's who you are as the protagonist. I think that's a really, really good, like, angle to take and to try and do. Like that a lot. But, with that being said, I kind of don't like how they did it, to be honest. I wasn't really a big fan of there just being another Darkrai who was like, I'm still evil, and whatnot, and then, like, how the back half of the game became so incredibly focused on, like, your inherent aura is that you're evil, you should be evil with me, and, like, trying to get past that, I guess, and whatnot. I just didn't love it. I think it would have been way cooler to have something where it's just like there's some other overarching plot that you're trying to deal with, and then maybe like you as the Darkrai, so the protagonist of this game, is like inadvertently causing bad dreams, or maybe even inadvertently causing like the destabilization of the world, and like taking that angle instead of there just being another Darkrai who's being evil and whatnot. I mean, I don't think it was like the way they did it was bad necessarily. It just didn't really interest me as much as I think other options could have done. I think there was definitely some other angles they could have taken that would have, Omega Jack and Ratchet, what a name, that would have interested me a lot more than the angle they took. They also, like, they had the whole thing going where there was, like, friction with the guild and whatnot and how Chatot was acting, and I feel like they kind of just, like, gave up on that after the first half. The first half of the game, that was, like, the main focus, but then when they started getting into the other Darkrai stuff, there was still some hints of the guild friction going on, but they kind of just, like, sidelined everything for just the hard focus on the other Darkrai. And, I don't know, it just didn't really grip me. It just didn't really grip me at the end of the day. I didn't like, love it. It wasn't, it definitely wasn't bad, I would say, but, I don't know. I just feel like I would have enjoyed a different, angle than what they went for a lot more. So, I guess it kind of feels a little bit like, not wasted potential, but just like, I would have liked something different. So, you know. I also don't like the monotype dungeon thing they did. I think that actually just makes the game less enjoyable. I think that having dungeons where there's just one overarching type is actually less fun than having a mixture of different Pokemon types and all throughout the game. So I don't like that decision that they did either. At the end of the day, though, it's still, like, Explorers of Sky, quotation marks, and Explorers of Sky is great. So, still fun overall, but definitely, left me a little underwhelmed. Oh, they are gonna bring... I also don't like what they did with Grovyle and Celebi in this. Grovyle being pulled out at the last second by Celebi, and Celebi being like, you have to stop trying to help people, Grovyle. I think that's a major disservice to Grovyle and Celebi, like, their characters in, the Your progress will now be saved. Their characters in the original game, I think that the way that they just like yoinked them out of the story at the very end and were like having Celebi basically tell Grovyle, like, you have to stop trying to help people, Grovyle. If you keep helping people, you're just gonna keep helping people forever, and that's not cool. When will you ever stop helping people, Grovyle? I really, that was probably the thing that I actually actively like disliked. Well, there were some other things I disliked, but that was the thing that I, like, straight up was like, this is stupid. That was dumb of them. The bad decision. Even if I didn't super love everything they did with, like, the back half of that story, I also felt like the Team AWD stuff was a little, like, wasted as well. We had that one, like, sequence with them where we went to their base and they were like, the townspeople are so mean to us and, you know, we may be thieves, but treasure hunters are basically thieves too. They're just more socially acceptable. And then they that was just kind of it. They didn't really... Nothing else really happened with them other than, like, you fight them at Temporal Tower, and then they're like, yeah, we're out. I don't know. I thought that was also kind of wasted potential, basically. But the stuff with Grovyle and Celebi, I thought what they were doing with Grovyle in the midpoint of the game was pretty neat. Him coming back and trying to figure out what was going on and learning about Darkrai and all. And then they just kind of, like, absolutely squandered every bit of it at the very end, where they were just like, Celebi thinks it's bad that Grovyle is still trying to help other people when he realizes that they're in danger. And I guess the moral of the story is that after you finish helping trying to save the world once, you should then, it's no longer your problem. And if anything else ever goes wrong again, who cares? You already did your part. That's kind of what it felt like to me with what they did with Grovyle and Celebi at the end. And I personally really, really, really hate that. I think that's an awful, like, use of both of their characters from the original game. So that was, oh, they put you prior to the events of Top Temporal Tower. Okay, I also hate this then. This, like, not having a proper post-game in a mystery dungeon is like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. That's so lame. I guess they kind of, honestly, I think that they should have gone hard. They should have made it where when you load back up the game, you're playing as Darkrai from then on. I think that would have been sick. They could have even had a little post-game story with it to an extent. But, like, just taking the... kind of like taking the coward's way out of just like, we'll put you right before the end of the game again. Don't worry, bro. Can you even get Dialga in this hack if you can't go to the top of Temporal Tower because it's always the end of the game? That's lame. I don't like that. I do not like that at all. But anyways, that is going to be it then. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of the Spirit. It was pretty fun overall, but honestly, just I would rather play the original Explorers of Sky, to be honest, than to play this. Big shout out to the quality of life, though, of, like, being able to press L1, or press L, it's L1 on my PlayStation 4 controller that I use, and being able to select any move. That was incredible. Very useful. But, overall, you know, definitely not a bad hack, but also I wouldn't really call it a great hack. I think it was alright. I had a fun enough time, but I don't think I would ever play this again, to be honest. I definitely want to try out other Mystery Dungeon hacks, though, because there's got to be one out there that just really jives with me, right? This is only the first one. We played this one, and it wasn't terrible. I didn't hate it, so I definitely want to play more at some point. But also, it'll probably be a while before I do, because I played this one, and it didn't really grip me. It really interested me in the first half. The second half, I felt like the game kind of fell off in general. But, yeah, overall, still fun. Great work by the developers in, like, putting it together in general, even if I didn't love it at the end. But, yeah. I think that is it for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of the Spirit. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the future for more playthroughs, whether it's Mystery Dungeon or something else. And until that time, farewell.